Hey guys, welcome to Sharp Learners. This channel is solely dedicated to all the students out there. Hope you enjoy watching and learning it the smart way. So let's get started. Click on the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to make sure you don't miss any updates from us. What is AngularJS? AngularJS is a structural framework for developing dynamic web pages. It allows developers to use HTML as template language and lets HTML syntax to express applications components briefly but clearly. It is a full-featured JavaScript framework with the primary goal of simplification. It provides support for developing dynamic, single-page web apps and supports the MVC programming structure. Difference between JavaScript and AngularJS. Definition. JavaScript is an object-oriented scripting language, whereas AngularJS is an open-source framework for creating dynamic web applications. The second is programmed. JavaScript's most interpreters are written in C and C++, whereas for AngularJS is written in JavaScript. The third is applications. JavaScript is used for creating dynamic web applications, whereas AngularJS is used for creating large single-page applications. The fourth comparison is developed. JavaScript was mainly developed by Netscape Communications, whereas AngularJS was mainly developed by Google. Next difference is concept. JavaScript is based on concept of dynamic typing as an interpreted language, whereas AngularJS is based on concept of model view controller to build apps. Next is syntax. JavaScript syntax is complex as compared to AngularJS, whereas AngularJS syntax is simple. Next difference is learnability. JavaScript is complex to learn, whereas you can learn AngularJS very easily if one knows JavaScript. The next is filters. JavaScript does not support filters, whereas AngularJS do support filters. Advantages of AngularJS. It provides the capability to create single-page application in a very clean and maintainable way. It provides data binding capability to HTML. Thus, it gives the user a rich and responsive experience. AngularJS code is unit testable. AngularJS provides reusable components. With AngularJS, the developers can achieve more functionality with short code. In AngularJS, views are pure HTML pages, and controllers written in JavaScript do the business processing. On the top of everything, AngularJS applications can run on all major browsers and smartphones, including Android and iOS-based phones or tablets. AngularJS MVC Architecture. Model View Controller, or MVC as it is popularly called, is a software design pattern for developing web applications. A model view controller pattern is made up of following three parts. Model. It is the lowest level of the pattern responsible for maintaining data. View. It is responsible for displaying all or a portion of the data to the user. Controller. It is a software code that controls the interactions between the model and view. MVC is popular because it isolates the application logic from the user interface layer and supports separation of concerns. The controller receives all requests for the application and then works with the model to prepare any data needed by the view. The view then uses the data prepared by the controller to generate a final presentable response. Confused? Let's look at it in a graphical way. The MVC abstraction can be graphically represented as follows. The model. The model is responsible for managing application data. It responds to the request from view and to the instructions from controller to update itself. The view, a presentation of data in a particular format triggered by the controller's decision to present the data. They are script-based template systems such as JSP, ASP, PHP, and very easy to integrate with Ajax technology. The controller. The controller responds to user input and performs interactions on the data model objects. The controller receives input, validates it, and then performs business operations that modify the state of the data model. Introduction to SPA, that is Single Page Application. Single Page Application, that is SPA, is a web application that fits on a single page. All your codes, that is JS, HTML, CSS, is retrieved with a single page load, and navigation between pages is performed without refreshing the whole page. Now let's look at some pros and cons. No page refresh. When you are using SPA, you don't need to refresh the whole page. Just load the part of the page which needs to be changed. Angular allows you to preload and cache all your pages, so you don't need extra requests to download them. Better user experience. SPA feels like a native application, fast and responsive. Ability to work offline. Even if user loses internet connection, SPA can still work because all the pages are already loaded. Now let's look at some cons. More complex to build. You need to write pretty much JavaScript, handle shared state between pages, manage permissions, etc. SEO. To index your SPA app, search engine crawlers should be able to execute JavaScript. Only recently, Google and Bing started indexing Ajax-based pages by executing JavaScript during crawling. You need to create static HTML snapshots, especially for search engines. Clients should have JavaScripts enabled. Of course, SPA requires JavaScript, but fortunately, almost everyone has JavaScript enabled. Let's see how to set up AngularJS library to be used in web application development. When you open the link, you will see there are two options to download AngularJS library. The first is View on GitHub. By clicking on this button, you are diverted to GitHub and get all the latest scripts. Download AngularJS 1. By clicking on this button, you get to see a dialog box on your screen as shown below. This screen gives various options of using AngularJS as follows. Downloading and hosting files locally. There are two different options, Legacy and Latest. The names themselves are self-descriptive. The Legacy has version less than 1.2x and the latest comes with the version 1.3x. We can also go with the minimized, uncompressed or zipped version. CDN access. You also have access to CDN. The CDN gives you access to regional data centers, in this case the Google host. The CDN transfers the responsibility of hosting files from your own server to a service of external ones. It also offers an advantage that if the visitor of your web page has already downloaded a copy of AngularJS from the same CDN, there is no need to re-download it. Now let us write a simple example using AngularJS library. Let us create an HTML file, myfirstexample.html, shown as below. Let us go through the above code in detail. First, include AngularJS. We include the AngularJS JavaScript file in the HTML page so that we can use it. You can check the latest version of AngularJS on its official website. Point to AngularJS app. Next, it is required to tell which part of HTML contains the AngularJS app. You can do this by adding the ng app attribute to the root HTML element of the AngularJS app. You can either add it to the HTML element or the body element as shown here. View. The view is this part. ng controller tells AngularJS which controller to use with this view. hello2.title tells AngularJS to write the model value named hello2.title in HTML at this location. Controller. This is the controller part. This code registers a controller function named helloController in the Angular module named myApp. We will study more about modules and controllers in their respective chapters. The controller function is registered in Angular via the angular.module controller function call. The $scope parameter model is passed to the controller function. The controller function adds a hello2 JavaScript object, and in that object it adds a title field. Execution. Save the above code as myfirstexample.html and open it in any browser. You get to see the following output. Also, if you're new and haven't checked the previous videos, do go and check right now. You'll find all the links in the description box below. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Also, you can comment for topics that you want me to post in the comment section below. All the best for your future guys. Stay tuned for more interesting videos.